part of a protest just a few minutes ago. Not only did they come with weapons and violent show of force and drive a van into us, but then they tear gassed us. And I have to tell you, it was terrifying. It was.
Yeah, I think this mayor might be in some trouble. We'll get to that in a second. But this is Mayor Daniel Biss. He is the mayor of Evanston, Illinois. Hold on one second. I know we're all focusing on Captain America, but who is this back here? That looks like the mayor of Evanston. And guess what? It is the mayor of Evanston. And of course, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. And we also have some others who want to be politicians that we found in this crowd as well. So we're going to dig into all of this. I think you'll find this video rather interesting. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well, and I think people want to know what's going on with this mayor and why he's involved with these activities.
Hey Lou, get the shot inside of the facility. They have someone on the ground. If you're able to see that person, they're closing the gate right now. There's a person on the ground being held on the ground by those ICE agents.
Okay, before we talk about the mayor, let's talk about the context. Basically, this building right here has become the new front lines in Chicago between protesters and federal agents. And what this is an ICE processing / detention facility. So protesters, what they will do is they will stand in the driveway, get in the way of operations, they will slash tires, and that's what we're seeing at this building. Okay, so the video you just saw, that came out less than 24 hours ago, and a lot of eyeballs are now focusing on Chicago. What the heck is going on with these protesters and the federal agents? However, somebody noticed this man right here, and it was pointed out that guy is a mayor. Now, like we said before, he's the mayor of Evanston, and I wanted to know, is that even near the facility? Like, does he have anything to do with that facility? It turns out no. He lives about 45 minutes away driving from the actual facility. Evanston is its own location away from the area we're talking about.
Yeah, give us your Venmo. We can help you with the uniform. I'm here next to Daniel Biss, who's being pushed by ICE.
Now, I don't know if this mayor realizes this, but that's an SRT member, a special response team member. Those are the elite personnel within Homeland Security. So that mayor is very fortunate he was not arrested or detained for posturing up or moving forward as he was pushed back by that SRT member.
I'm back at the Broadview ICE facility where, in part of a protest just a few minutes ago, not only did they come with weapons and violent show of force and drive a van into us, but then they tear gassed us. And I have to tell you, it was terrifying. It was impossible to breathe and really, really scary. But the point is they are trying to intimidate us, to stop us from standing up and being a part of a nonviolent resistance. And we will not be intimidated.
Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is, according to the mayor, it's the Homeland Security agents' fault. They are trying to intimidate them. However, this interview or video, it's being done right across the street from the facility, and everything sounds and looks rather peaceful. It doesn't look like anyone's being intimidated. They're allowed to be there and protest. But I want to give the mayor a chance and the protesters. I'm going to go back. We're going to work together. Let's go back and watch the raw footage where we can actually see the mayor in the footage, and according to the mayor, it was Homeland Security that was intimidating them. Okay, let's stop right here. Again, I want to be as fair as possible to this mayor who's standing on federal property and the rest of these protesters standing on federal property. The claim was that the federal agents, they are intimidating the protesters. I will let you guys determine how you feel about that. I'm just trying to point out there seems to be a lot of protesters standing in front of a federal vehicle who's trying to leave the facility, and these workers are trying to do their job. Okay, and at this point, this man picked up tear gas and threw it towards the federal agents. Now again, the claim was it's the federal agents that created all of this. I'm trying to be as fair as possible here. I have no problem in calling out the agents if they do something they're not supposed to be doing. Okay, I think you'll find this rather interesting. So you just saw a protester try and save the man dressed as Captain America, and now this woman is also trying to do the same thing, but she was dragged back. This person has a little bit of significance. She is a congressional candidate. Now, she's not in Congress or a lawmaker, but she's trying to be, and she's also using all of the clips and videos. It's all over her social media, almost as a promotional aspect, and she's asking for donations. So I just wanted to point out, again, according to the mayor, it was all on Homeland Security. They instigated all of this, but I don't know if the mayor knows this. This congressional candidate, just hours before the interaction you saw, this happened. They were already warned that you cannot be in the area, so this was not a one-time event. There were multiple warnings that you cannot get in front of the vehicles. So again, I'm just trying to be fair here so you guys can have an educated opinion, because the mayor is claiming it's all on Homeland Security, yet this congressional candidate, just before the interaction with Captain America, she was already warned you cannot be in this area. Now, I apologize, I can't play the audio, there's copyright music in the background, but this is the head of Border Patrol. He has visited the location to see what's actually going on here, and he's also now on the front lines trying to let protesters know you cannot be in this area. Again, I want to make it very clear, you are absolutely allowed to protest. That is 100% okay, but as far as getting in front of federal vehicles trying to block operations, that's where it becomes a problem. So the fact that the head of Border Patrol now has to come out here, again, I made a prediction a week ago, this was going to become very problematic for Homeland Security, and within 1 week, protesters and federal agents, they are clashing. But I also just want to point out here, this looks rather peaceful. He's actually interacting with the protesters, so this is a good thing. We want to see peaceful interactions, and the fact that the head of an entire department is out here, that's a very big deal, which means most likely Tom Homan will now be visiting in the very near future, or some other big officials as far as the security of this location.
What's your name? What do you do? What's your mother's name? Are you proud?
You need a mint.
I need a what?
A mint.
A mint?
Well, let's see your badge.
A mint?
You can take it all day. Take it all day. I welcome you.
What's your name?
You can come over.
What's your name? What's your name, sir? Are you proud? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Back out of the way.
Is this how you protect your country? Are you protecting?
So again, you are 100% allowed to protest, and according to that mayor, what's happening is these federal agents, they are intimidating the protesters. But I'm just trying to show you guys the raw footage. I don't want to cut out any important parts. This is a protest. I don't even know what she's taking a picture of, but again, you guys can decide how you feel about this. Again, these are protesters. I don't know why they have the need to want to take a picture of whatever is going on here.
You can take it all day. Take it all day. I welcome you.
What's your name?
You can come over.
What's your name? What's your name, sir? Are you proud? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Back out of the way.
Is this how you protect your country? Are you protecting your country? What's your name? What's your name? Be proud! Be proud! You pushed! You fought! Be proud! Be proud! What's your name? Be proud! What's your name?
I also want to point out, these protesters have already made it very clear, I talked about this several videos ago, they're not leaving. They plan on being here every single day. So, like we see over in Portland, the federal agents are really picking and choosing what exactly they're going to do with protesters, as far as, are we going to really make this a big clash, or are we just going to try and use peace to calm everything down? So everything you see here is very situational. If you just have two women who are trying to take pictures of whatever area of your body, like, okay, just let that be. But if you have 200 protesters who are clashing down on a driveway, that's where you see these big clashes.
Show us your face! What's your name? Are you proud?
And you can always tell these federal agents do not want to arrest these protesters. Again, I cover this stuff every single day, and I know some of the agents actually watch these videos, so I am held to a very high standard to make sure I'm representing these men and women properly. They don't want to arrest them because now they have to bring them on the other side of the gate. News crews show up. Hey, a protester was arrested. It turns into a huge headline. It becomes very problematic. But also, federal agents, they want these protesters to be able to protest. It's a very, very careful balance in powers here.
The property. What's your name? Are you proud?
What are you so
Are you proud of what you're doing?
Why are you touching this man? Your boyfriend? What are you
What
afraid
is
of?
better get, man?
I just have friends.
Well, stick that.
Fuck! Fascist! Why would I care?
You're gonna tell.
Show us your face.
Yeah.
What's your name? What do you do? Nothing!
So unfortunately, this keeps happening. It's almost as if there are waves and waves of protesters who, again, are standing in front of the driveway, and Homeland Security, they have to do a job. They have no choice but to move the protesters out of the way. I do wish we had less clashes and we had more peace, but this is what happens. And again, once you throw the water bottle, that's it. That gives the federal agents the right to use whatever force they need to use to defend the facility and make sure others are safe. Now, one thing I want to point out is, why would somebody show up with an umbrella? Well, this is a very common tactic we see over in Portland, where an umbrella is used to defend against pepper balls and also against tear gas or anything that could be used against a protester. Now, I don't want to make an accusation. I don't know why this person brought an umbrella. It doesn't look like there's any rain in the background. I'm just trying to point out, when you make a comparison with why we see umbrellas at protests, that's the reason. And again, you'll notice nobody here has been arrested. These federal agents don't even have the time to arrest you, because once you start to make arrests, you open up the gap in the line and protesters could exploit that gap. And by the way, protesters in Portland know that. The protesters in Portland, as soon as this happens, once that gate opens and the vehicle comes out, this is where every single interaction or a clash occurs. Now, I have no idea what happened here. Let's try and go back and see with the raw footage. No idea why they went after that guy.
Back up! Back up now!
We are watching you! We are watching your every fucking move!
This is why I said, when it comes to SRT, you have to be very, very careful. Even over in Portland, SRT, they will arrest you. They're very big on the zero tolerance. Now, one massive difference with these agents and the guys over in Portland, the men and women, in Portland, it's the FPS, the Federal Protective Service. These, you can see the patches. Some of them are ICE and also SRT, so dual training going on here. But one common pattern we see all the time with SRT members and all of these protests is that they're very big on the zero tolerance, and they will arrest you. Federal Protective Services, they're way bigger on just defending the buildings. They don't go too far out of their way to arrest you. That's not really their purpose and job.
Hold the circle!
We are watching you!
Again, I have no idea why that man was arrested. Maybe you can leave your comments down below what happened. And I also want to show you guys, I mean, there's not a lot of room here in this area, okay? So this is a very small, condensed area, and that could be rather dangerous. So I really hope nobody gets hurt here. Okay, watch this person right here. So that right there, she could be arrested for assault, but it's like just becoming a norm out here. Okay, so that's the video. I really tried to give a very fair assessment as far as what the mayor's claim was. That according to him, Homeland Security, those agents, they are the instigators in all of this, not the protesters. And I also want to make this disclaimer. I only advocate for peace, and I want to make sure we all come together, and I'm really just trying to give a fair critique as to what's going on, because there's so much news right now. Not a lot of people realize what's going on in Chicago and other cities where we are seeing these clashes. So I want to make sure to give you guys a fair assessment so you can be educated in what's actually happening. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, pray for peace. Pray that we can all come together. God bless, and we'll see you all later.